Hey gang, welcome back to our kitchen remodel series. We're going to start off this video by installing our new kitchen hood. It's a Whirlpool hood. We'll show it to you in just a minute. Here's the model number. We've already unboxed it. There's the hood, there's the brackets, the angles, the damper, and come on over here. All the screws were in a bag, so we've separated everything as best we could. Like that. And our first step is to find the center of the bracket that goes on the ceiling. Now they gave us a template, so we're going to grab that in just a minute. So I brought my dot laser, and then what I want to do, I want the center of the cooking surface. I don't want the center of the range. I want the center of the cooking surface to match up with the center of the hood. So we're going to turn that on, and we just determined that right here in the middle of these two grates is the middle of our cooking surface. Put our dot right there. You can already see I've already put an X on the ceiling. Now if you don't have a dot laser, just use a plumb bob. And if you don't have a plumb bob, you can use a chalk line, because that is shaped like a plumb bob, and it will do the same thing for you. I'm not going to do it because I'll get blue chalk everywhere. That's just an option for you if you don't have a laser. So what we're going to do, I'm going to clear all this off, and then we're going to use the box, and we're going to flatten it, and we're going to put the box over all this, because we're going to have to kneel on this, put some weight on this, and we want to protect it. So let's move all these tools, flatten that box, and protect this oven. So now we've got the range and the counters all protected with this very sturdy cardboard. I can actually put my knee on there. It's very solid. I'm going to take my Phillips screwdriver, put it on my mark, and I'm just going to drill through, just like that. All right, now I'll go in the attic. I'm going to see how close to these joists we are. The joists run this way. When we laid out our lights, if I remember right, Jordan, we had one right here.
Yeah, it's close
by the light, so I think we should be fine here.
Let's go find it.
Yep, let's go do it. All right, guys, here's the hole we drilled from underneath. So you can see we're about 4 inches from this joist. So there's plenty of room, but as you can see, good news, bad news, right? Good news is we missed the joist. Bad news is we are right under this strong back. So we're gonna have to move it. But I would rather move a part of this than to head off one of these. We did this on our previous hood video, not a big deal. But in this house, it would be a lot more difficult than in that previous video. Go back and watch that other video. And the other good news, look what I found. My flashlight's over there. I found my framing hammer on the roof of another project we're working on last week. And there's my flashlight. I knew it was up here. All right, so the duct for the hood is 6-inch diameter. We're 4 inches from here, so we're good. So I think what I want to do today is get that upper bracket mounted on the ceiling, put in the blocking we need, and at least try to hang the hood. And then I will think about how we're going to move this tomorrow, because I don't have lumber for that anyway. So let's head downstairs. I can hear it's raining. We'll cover up our tools and get started. Just what I needed, a little shower to cool me off after the attic. All right, I've dried off a little bit from the rain, but let us get you up to speed on what we've done since then. And remember that if you're liking the video, be sure to hit that button down below and go ahead and subscribe for us. We really appreciate it. Today, actually, we hit 1 million total views, and we'll hit 10,000, right?
Hopefully.
On the same day. We're like 6 away. We got it. We got it. It's got to happen.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. So we appreciate all the support. So what we did was we attached this transition. It goes from the rectangular opening in the hood to the 6-inch round, and then here's your backdraft damper. When the fan's on, it will blow it open just like that, and then when the fan's off, it'll shut and prevent drafts from coming in off the roof. So we have a gasket down here. We cut it to fit and screwed it on just to get it out of our way. And then obviously, if you put this the other direction, this round section would stick out here. Can you see how it's offset? You wouldn't want it offset back here, because then your chimney might fit.
It might.
But we're close to that joist, so we're going to put it that way. Now the other thing we did, we put on these 4 angles. The hood comes with 8 angles. These 4 have a slot down here. Can you see that slot? And that slot goes around this tab, which is only on the back 2 corners. So we've just got these attached temporarily with 2 screws. And then the other 4 angles are smaller. See that? And they have this detail on the top. So we know that's the top because this is the bracket that goes on the ceiling. And see how those holes line up? And those line up. So we'll get 4 screws here and each of the other 3 corners.
Yeah, 16 total. It'll be strong.
Yep. And then this angle is made to slide over the top of this one in 1-inch increments to establish your height. So see how those holes line up? You know, I can lower it 1 inch, I can raise it 1 inch, and then all these line up as well. So if we go to the lowest setting right there, from the bottom of the intake to the top of this is 30 inches. We measured that it is 58 inches from the top of our cooking surface to our ceiling. If the hood is hanging down 30 inches, that leaves us 28 inches between the top of the cooking surface and the intake of the hood. And if you come over here, the recommendation for a gas cooktop is 27. So we're going to leave it alone. We're comfortable with that. And we're going to show you a little trick that we're going to do. If we have to adjust it lower, we can, with no big deal at all. The other thing we're going to do is, here's the template. So it's going to get taped to the ceiling like this. You see it says front of hood. So these 4 holes marked B will attach this to our structure. And then you only need 1 of the holes marked A. That's for the electrical coming down. So since the knockout is over here, I'm going to use this one. Now the other thing we noticed, they have an 8.5 inch diameter hole for the vent duct. This big hole right here. But we only have a 6-inch duct. I don't want to cut a great big hole in our ceiling and have air leaking through. So we are going to measure off of our brackets to the center of this and transfer that to our template. And we have a 6-inch duct. So what do you think, Jordan? A 6 1/8, 6 1/4 inch hole, something like that. And then we can seal around that nice and tight and we'll be good. So let's see what we got here. I think we're 3.5. What do you think?
To the middle of the damper?
Middle of that, yeah.
I'd say like 3 3/8 actually.
All right. So here's what I did. I grabbed the ceiling bracket and I put it over the template. I'm lining up these 4 little holes marked B on the template with these slots. You see that? And then I traced around the template, or I traced around the bracket rather, just like that. Remind you, this is the front, and we made a mark right here. You'll notice there's 2. We screwed up and we double checked our work, but this is the one we want. I brought my compass and we drew a 6 1/8 diameter circle on the template for a 6-inch duct. So now we're ready to mount this to the ceiling. We'll mark these 4 holes marked B. We'll mark the center of this hole marked A for the electrical cable. And we'll mark the center of this one right there for the duct. We'll take the template down and drill all those holes. Let's get it done. All right, we'll get you back up to speed here. So this hole in the paper is the center of the template. See that? Center line of template. So I put the screwdriver through there, and then I put it through the hole we made in our ceiling. And we temporarily taped the template to the ceiling. We removed our protected covering from the counter, and we set up our line laser so it's on the back of the range. That gives us a line on the ceiling that we want to be parallel to. We don't want this thing crooked over the island. After a couple of trial and errors, moving this template, we got it perfect. So now I'm going to mark all 6 holes. We'll do all the B's first. These are for the screws that will support the weight of the hood. We're going to add the blocking in the attic. Now, I only need one of the A's for our wire. It's going to be this one. And then that mark that I circled is the center of our duct. Okay, we're done. All right, let's get down, put our protection back on the counter, and cut those holes. How's that for being close? Check that out.
All right, so we got the hole cut out. What's that? Hey, show them what you're doing up there.
So here's my blocking. 2x6 here, another one on the other side. They're fastened with some GRK structural screws into the side. It was easier just to do that than get up here with a hammer. So I think we're ready to hang the hood, and then we'll deal with this strong back tomorrow. All right, coming back to you. All right, we have our ceiling bracket screwed to our blocking with the screws that the manufacturer provided. Got a wire in here. I think, is that long enough, you think?
It's gonna be close, I think.
It'll be close, all right. So now we're gonna put the hood up here on this old sheet, attach our angles, and hang it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, Connor. Got it. All right.
Nice.
Yep, so that's 4 in each corner. And then these 2 angles are attached with 4. And then the back angle is attached to the hood with 4. It's very strong. So that's done. Let me change bits. And we're going to remove the electrical cover. I've already got all the screws out but one. And we'll hook up this electrical. There's our knockout. These are our favorite connector. And we'll leave ourselves a loop in case we have to lower the hood for any reason. The circuit is off at the panel. All right, let's see if it works.
All right.
Yay.
Nice.
All right, gang. We're in one of our favorite places, an attic in southern Louisiana, late July. We're staged up here. We got everything we need. We're going to try to knock this out quickly. So this strong back right here is in the way of our duct for our new hood. So we're gonna pad it out, and I built up a new strong back. It's behind Jordan, and we're gonna bring it out here. And then we're gonna cut out the piece that's in our way. So let's get it done. Why don't you pass me those nails, bud, and a hammer.
Nice.
All right, so we padded this out 3 inches. Now we're going to put our new strong back we made and attach it to these. So why don't you pass it to me, Jordan?
All right.
So you can see our new strong back. What a strong back does, it does 2 things. During rough framing, it keeps these long ceiling joists 16 inches apart. So they don't do this. Makes it easier for the drywall guys. The second thing it does, it helps us spread the load. So if I put all my 200 pounds on this joist, this strong back is helping it share the load between this one and then the one behind me, and then to a lesser extent out here. So we don't want to just cut it without replacing it. So I'm gonna screw it to our blocks with some GRK screws. Now these are at a square, I can tell, so this is gonna roll up on us. We're just gonna have to see what happens here. All right, I think to minimize our time in the attic, I'm gonna get 4 more. Then I'm gonna go through the 2x4 into the top of this ceiling joist. I'm just gonna see how it behaves. I don't really want to pull this up because I might crack the ceiling.
Right.
But I do want this connected to this. I think I'm good with that. All right, now we're ready to cut out this section of the original strong back.
Nice. Like a surgeon.
All right, there we go. Take a look. You can see our hood down there. We're gonna have to get the vacuum. Got some little sawdust.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here, bud. Well, we're back downstairs. We already started on the next phase of our hood. So the owners asked us to raise it 4 inches because it was really pretty low. I hit my head on it. So we're gonna raise it 4 inches. The problem is, the challenge is that we were already all the way up. So what we're gonna do, well, to remove the hood, we put this box here that the chimney is in. The chimney is the stainless steel piece that goes around here, the cover. And then we just loosen the 8 screws, or the 16 screws that were holding this angle to this angle. And then we just lowered it onto the box. That way we didn't have to disconnect our wire. So now we're gonna remove all 8 angles and go outside and cut them with a cutoff wheel on our grinder. Let's do it. All right, guys. Got all the angles out here on the tailgate. I'm going to cut off 6 inches on each one. That way if we need to go up a little more, we have that option. Just got a little cutoff wheel on my grinder. Let's get it done. Like butter. All right. Deburr these real quick with a file and we'll put them back on the hood and put it up. We have all our angles cut and we deburred this edge so it wouldn't cut anybody. We've got them reattached where they go, and then I put a mark on here. That's just a visual for us, and that's where this angle is going to end up to get us the height we want. So now we just lift it up and screw the angles together.
Okay.
Yeah. Right there.
Yep.
Beautiful. So that's all done. It's the right height for the owners. It's perfect. And we've cut our first piece of ductwork. It's 32 inches long. It needs to be a minimum of 24 before the first 90. 32 works for us. It looks like we can get 190 in here between the hood and the roof, which is what I want. I'd rather not put 2. And this is 6-inch metal duct. No dryer duct allowed, no flexible duct allowed. It's got to be rigid metal duct just like this. So I'm going to bring this in the attic, feed it through, and Jordan's going to hook it over the hood.
All right, you're good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Nice fit. Turn the fan on. Let me check the airflow here. Looks good. Leave it on. All right, the drop from the first piece we cut, the drop was 28 inches long. We needed 27, so we cut an inch off of it, and we're just going to use that, and we'll return this one to the store. But you see this crimped edge? That's going to fit inside of our 90 that's in the attic, like that. We don't have a crimped edge on this one. Oops, so we're going to make one. These are Malco C5 pipe crimpers, and it's made just for this purpose. Make a pass, move over. See that? Takes a little time to work your way around, but it does the job. See how nice?
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. All right, we're ready to go. We're going to seal these joints with foil tape. It's not plastic tape, it's not duct tape, it is foil tape. It's the best thing for this. Here we go. We did have to add another 90 over there just to get this thing pointed through the roof cap. Wow, sometimes this can be a real bear to start, but it's working with us today. Nice.
This cold vent is a beacon of hope up here.
Yep.
Cool.
That looks great. All right, we're all hooked up. Got all our joints taped with the foil tape. We put a strap in it just to support the upper part of this, and feels really good. Looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
That's professional installation. You hardly ever see this. They either just run it in the attic, or it's plastic flex duct, or
vented to
whatever.
a soffit.
Yep. All right, let's get out of here and go put up that chimney. We're back downstairs, and by the magic of editing, you can see I've already siliconed around here. I sealed all that, so it's not open to the attic, and I even did the wire. So now we're ready to attach the cover right here. We've already got it assembled with the screw. Where is it? Right there, Jordan? And one on my side. Now, because the angles were too long, and we had to cut those with the grinder, this was actually too tall. So we cut off, well, we saved 16 inches of it, and the part that had the louver on it, we threw that away. The louver would go up if you did not have this, and it would just vent into the room with a carbon filter. If you exhaust to the outside, then the louvers are hidden behind the lower chimney. Does that make sense? So
right.
We cut that part off. So this is the factory edge. So we're going to raise this up, and then I get a little screw right there and one on my side. So let's attach that, and then we're ready for the lower cover. So the upper cover is screwed into place. So now we're ready for the lower covers. And we give you these plastic clips. There's two for the bottom, which we've already put in, and there's two for the top, which go in later. So the trick is, see that little tab right there? It's supposed to go in this slot and keep it in place. But we know from experience, that's not what happens, is it? Let's try it. So we got this in place gently. You can't bump anything or those plastic tabs will fall out. So what happens, this is the bottom, like that. We got it in there, and then there are two screws that go into these holes that hold this down. And we actually went ahead and put those in. Was it this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one of these. And that way this can't move on us. So now let's go around and put this one on.
And this one just sits on the black tab.
Yep.
That's already installed.
Yep. All right, gang, we finally got the chimney covers on. I'm not allowed to touch it. So I know that what the look that Whirlpool is after is no screws up here, and that's why they give you those little plastic tabs to help everything align. But they are a pain. So what we did, we reverse wrapped one leg of the tab, of the plastic tab, like that.
So the sticky side was facing up.
Right. So that's the sticky side, and it helped to hold these bottom tabs in place while we put these 4 screws in place. And then once we did that, you just put the top one in, the top plastic tab. But my fat fingers couldn't do it, so
I've got dainty little fingers.
Jordan did it, no
Yep.
problem. So we're done.
I do a lot off camera, by the way. I'm not just good for putting little tabs in.
Giving him such a hard time about that.
And also, the reason that you want to reverse the tabs is because when you're sliding the second half on, if it's not adhesived on there, when it slides down, if you're not directly on it, which you won't be,
Right.
it's going to bump it out.
And then one of them even fell inside the hood, and we had to go on a little fishing expedition to get it out.
Yep.
So now it's all done, but our fingerprints are all over it. So we've got this stainless steel cleaner and polish we're going to use, and we're going to clean it right now.
All right, let's remove the evidence.
All right, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, gang, that's going to be a wrap on this island hood video. Got a lot of tips in there. We had to do some framing, electrical. We ran the ductwork. We had to cut the angles, cut the stainless.
And some attic surgery.
Yep.
That was the framing.
That was the framing part. So we hope you picked up a lot of good tips and tricks on installing an island hood. This would really apply to any brand. The process is the same. But we love this particular brand. It's quiet, moves a lot of air. So we hope you liked that video. If you did, make sure you click that thumbs up button for us down there. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.